So I got a lot of requests to talk about the Enneagram. For those of you who don't know, the Enneagram is a personality construct based on the idea that there are 9 personality types divided by your basic fear and basic emotion. So if you like personality tests, I know you're already on board. And if you think personality tests are stupid, stick with me. I don't typically like personality tests. I don't really like Myers-Briggs. Honestly, I don't like any one I've ever done because all the ones I've tried just didn't resonate with me. And I thought it's goofy to try and divide people into these subsets. You are this, therefore this. And the only reason I did the Enneagram at all is because my friend who introduced it to me, I like so much, and I want her to like me so much. So does that say something about my personality that she's like, try this thing? And maybe something I'd normally be like, I already think this is stupid. I'm like, yes, I'd love to. Yes, let me try that. So I did it, and the type that I am is just so me that it's kind of like, okay, well, what are you going to do with that? And most of the people that I do the Enneagram with are like, yeah, that's me. So I'm a 2. The 2 is the helper. The 2's fear is that they're unlovable. And their desire is to be loved and appreciated. What I really like about the Enneagram is that your gift is also your curse, and I like that the Enneagram talks about who you are when you are your healthiest self and your worst self. So I'm someone who just generally, I love to be of service. It's a joy. And I especially love to be emotionally available to my friends and people I'm close with. It brings me purpose, and it's just a joy-filled experience. However, when I'm at my least healthy self, you might ask, am I available to people to serve them or to serve my own need to be needed? I'm going to read a little bit about the 2 from EnneagramInstitute.com. 2s are empathetic, sincere, and warm-hearted. They are friendly, generous, and self-sacrificing, but can also be sentimental, flattering, and people-pleasing. They are well-meaning and driven to be close to others, but can slip into doing things for others in order to be needed. They typically have problems with possessiveness and with acknowledging their own needs. At their best, unselfish, altruistic, and have unconditional love for others. I'll put a link to this website in the description. This is a great website that has a real good description for each of the numbers. When you're trying to figure out what your number is, there's lots of tests you can take online. I don't like tests because I always wonder when I'm taking tests, how should I answer this? Do I answer this as who I am at my best self or who I am on my worst day? So tests are stressful to me, but whatever. Here's the thing. Once you get your result, just go and look at descriptions of what the numbers are, and you can choose for yourself who you are. It's not about what you do, it's about your internal motivation. I feel like this website has a really good, simple rundown of all the numbers for everyone except for the 9, which is the peacemaker. The 9 can be hard to wrap your head around because 9s feel like they see themselves in everyone and they see every side of everything. 9s are chameleons. Like with my 9 friends, sometimes I pick up on, oh, is this who you are, or is this just who you are around me? Like, am I really seeing you, or am I seeing a reflection of myself? And yeah, I just think this website doesn't do a great job of describing the 9. But there's a podcast I love called The Road Back to You, which is 2 Enneagram experts, a male 4 and a female 2, and they bring people on every episode, different numbers, to talk about their number. And they have a great episode on the 9. So if you think you're a 9, I'll put the link to that in the description too. The Enneagram's been helpful for me in my life. I think I went into it with a pretty good understanding of who I was already, but it's been really helpful for me in understanding other people, how people can react differently than me to the same situation, because it's like, oh, see, my fear is that I'm unlovable, but I can see how if your fear is someone controlling you, how our reactions would be different, and how, like, maybe something that I would have taken personally in the past, I'm like, oh, this doesn't have anything to do with me. I also like that you move to different numbers in health and in unhealth, and you can have wings. I just think it's a really nice, complex, and helpful way to look at people. But that said, it is a construct, and all constructs are flawed. So if you are reading about the number that you are and you feel like that's not me or that's not helpful, then that's okay. It doesn't need to be for everyone. All right, final thoughts on the Enneagram. If you like it as much as I do, I feel like, this is totally guessing, I have no way to tell, but I feel like 2s would probably be specifically drawn to the Enneagram because it's like, what? This whole new way to understand people? But if you do get into it, I would say be cautious against boiling people down to just their personality. And it's neither pleasant nor helpful, I think, to, oh my gosh, that's such a 4 thing to do. I also think it's important to let people decide for themselves what number they are, because really only you know your internal motivation. So use it as a tool for self-exploration, for better understanding each other, but not for labeling people and boxing people in, because people are more than their personalities. All right, I'll have links to everything in the description. I'm not going to include a link to a test, unless I find one I really like. I hate all personality tests, so I'm sure if you Google it, it will be like the first thing that comes up. If you have any more questions, I'm answering a question every day-ish this month. Fed 'em. Right now for me, it is only April 21st, so if you're watching this, that means at most I have 9 videos done by the time this goes up. Hope you're having a great week. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Woof.